The silent killer. That is the name I gave this thought. So for this thought, it's a little bit on that aspect of not see, even me speaking about the thought, I'm already doing what I didn't want to do, which is sort of avoid not being direct. And that is because the silent killer is lust. There are different silent killers. For men, one of those main ones, one of those big ones, lust. Lust makes us weak as a gender, as men. It does so much harm. And I suppose the reason why I don't want to avoid not being direct or wanting to be direct is that lust is something that we all fall into. It is hard. It is hard just in so many ways. And lust shows up in different aspects of our lives as well, and it comes to us differently as well, depending on, because ego, the enemy, the world, right, ran by not so many good forces, evil forces, whatever it is that you want to call it, right? But you guys see the society we live in. Boys, you guys see it all the time. We talk about this. The society we are living in. But the ego, the enemy, whatever name you want to give it, is smart in the sense that it knows how to keep us in a chokehold with lust. So say, for example, a person is hooked on those type of videos. That is how they fall into lust. That is how they sin, through just watching videos and through self-pleasure in that sense. Also, I don't know what words I can or can't say. Not that it matters, because whoever watches this, and if no one, then no one, because I just love seeing myself speak to myself. So I'm not sure what words I can or can't use, but I also want to be mindful of that as well. So taking it back to one man, that's how lust gets to them. However, another man can't stop cheating. Another man has no addiction of those videos, no self-pleasure, but they can't stop cheating, and that's how lust gets to them. So you guys see how lust is just there in different ways. And that's also another thing that speaks into not judging people, because we all sin. So my sin, just because it's lesser, although that's not the case, right? Sin is sin. Because my sin is lesser, than I can look down on you, which is a no. But lust is just the silent killer. It is. I'm not sure how we might be able to fully tackle the issue, in a sense of saying we have this under control. We as a gender, we as men, we have this under control. It's sadly, unfortunately, it's something that, knock on wood, hopefully, we move away from it, but it seems like it's a thing that will always be there. Again, that's why I called it the silent killer, right? So it's that lust is bad. Lust takes us away from our purpose. Lust, it does damage, boys. It just does damage, and we all know it. And it's, again, one of those things that, as a gender, and I'm sure women also struggle with this, but like I always tell you, boys, we are men. We view the world through our lens of a male. So whatever it is that goes on that side, as long as we're supportive as well and all that, right? But we shouldn't be too caught up on how it affects them on that end. For us, we should first acknowledge and have those conversations that it is a thing that we don't speak about. But again, as a gender, we kind of all understand the struggle, we all kind of understand that it's there. I want to share a little bit of scripture text. Remember, we can always learn from any type of reading. If you don't believe in the Bible and all that, that's awesome, but you can still read and learn from it. From any book, you can always learn, right? That's why I always tell you boys, read. Whatever it is, but just read. With eyes full of adultery, they never stop sinning. They seduce the unstable. They have left the straight way and wander off to follow wickedness. With eyes full of adultery, they never stop sinning. Eyes full of adultery, lust. Let me pull up my other notes, because I have spoken on lust, and so I have there's different kind of thoughts that come and all that. That's why I tell you boys, it's like a silent killer, because it's also something that, at least on my end, I don't see so many people talk about it, and perhaps there are people that talk about it and all that, and maybe I'm just not seeing it on my end, right? But that's that. So, with eyes full of adultery, they never stop sinning. This is from second book of Peter, chapter 2. Where is it? And it is verse 14. Verse 14 and 15. And then we can read 13 actually as well. They will be paid back with harm for the harm they have done. Their idea of pleasure is reveling in their pleasures while they feast with you. So they will be paid back with harm for the harm they have done. So with lust, there's consequences, right? There's consequences all the time for anything and everything. Taking it back to those examples of how lust comes at you differently and all that, with the guy that becomes addicted to those type of videos. One of the consequences can be, I don't know, and when it comes to doing the real thing, not being able to perform, low self-esteem, becoming very anxious when even thinking of approaching women or even having conversations with women. And then with the guy that's married and he just can't stop cheating, well, divorce or not being happy, not living to the potential of what a marriage could have been for him. I wrote, men who have wandering eyes, and then I put the little hyphen with the part of the verse where it says, with eyes full of adultery, they never stop sinning. And then, men who have wandering eyes, it can condition men to always have some sense of sexualizing women. It is hard to hold value with women or hold value with relationships. That is a consequence of lust, having wandering eyes. And then having wandering eyes, we talk about these things, right? It is so annoying. And it's so obvious, you can tell it. And if we as men can tell it, imagine how easy maybe it is for women to spot it and be like, cool, that guy, right? Because you walk into any place that is not even supposed to be sexualized or anything, and right away, you walk in and you're already like, oh shit, I see this girl, I see that girl, oh, let me check her out, let me do all these things, where you're being so conditioned by lust to always sexualize women no matter what. You sexualize a woman and you won't be able to have a good relationship with that woman. You won't be able to have good value within that woman, because you'll either lose the woman if it is your partner, or if it is someone you're pursuing. But also it makes it harder for you to hold value with women, if that makes sense. So taking it, I'm reading here. So taking it back to how I said, when we walk into any place that's not like sexualized in that sense, and we begin to sexualize it, we begin to start seeing things in that aspect, you're losing value for yourself, whether you acknowledge it or not. And that's where I said it is hard to hold value with women, so women will not respect you. You can say, oh, like, well, I don't care, like, who cares if a woman does not respect me, or if women in general don't respect me, as long as I have self-respect for myself and all that. I'll say cool to that, but then I'll ask, how can you say that you have self-respect for yourself if you sexualize every woman you come across? So again, lust conditions us to have wandering eyes, and then because of wandering eyes, wherever we go, it's sexualize. And that's not cool, boys. Like, how annoying do you think it'd be for you to have, like, to see yourself through another lens, or have another you next to you, right? And you walk in and you be able to see that type of behavior from an outside perspective onto yourself. It would be the creepiest shit. It would be like yucky. Like, what the fuck are we doing as men, bro? Like, we have to be men. Does that make sense? It's like, come on, boys. So, taking it back to that, with eyes full of adultery, they never stop sinning, right? So, wandering eyes. The other thing is that we begin to always chase women. We always chase validation from women because lust has us in a chokehold, because lust is just running wild with us. We begin to chase women. We begin to chase validation for the wrong things. Like, in general, the thing that I tell you, boys, do not chase women. You can pursue a woman once you understand what it is that you want, once you know who you are in that sense. But to chase women in general, it's from lust. At least my thought. I think it's just from lust, or from other things too, right? Psychological and all that sense of wanting that validation from the opposite gender. But to keep it with this term, I think it's lust. Because we chase women. Do we chase women because, oh, like, I wanna court her, I wanna hold her hand, I wanna do all these things, like, aside from anything on the sexualized aspect? No, we chase women because that's kind of the end goal that we want, right? We want that, and so that's why we chase women. And again, it's annoying because we should, if anything, we should be chasing ourselves. Chase your goals. Be ambitious about something and chase it, rather than just putting that energy out there on women to just try and get something. And then I will say, like, if you do the work, and again, as long as you are genuinely doing the work, I'm not telling you, like, oh shit, like, I need you to have zero sexualized desire, I need you to have zero sexualized thoughts. Eventually, that's the end goal. But just because you're not fully away from lust, but you are trying, in a sense, to kind of just live righteously and move away from it, it's like you're doing the work. That's just pretty much what I want to say. Don't think that, you have to be fully away from lust, so that it means that you are fine doing the work and all that. So no. You as long as you are doing the work, right? And so if you are doing the work in regards to lust, and then you begin to think of women, dude, it's beautiful. You start to actually be a simp, but be a simp within your own space, not to women, right? And what I mean by that is that you start to see women away from that sexualized aspect. You're like, holy shit, like, yes, I want to pursue you. I don't want to chase you. I want to pursue you, but I want to pursue you because I actually want to get to know you. I want to pursue you because I actually want to hold your hand. I want to pursue you because I actually want to get my time to just be around you. And then if that end goal happens, then it happens. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. As long as I got to have that social connection, as long as I was able to just show you that there are other men away from that other category of men where we sexualize women. So that's what starts happening when you begin doing the work. When you begin doing the work in you, when you begin moving away from lust, you stop sexualizing women, and you go from, and this is where it clicks, right? This is where you understand what it is to chase versus what it is to pursue, what it is to chase versus what it is to court. And on that end, it's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling. And again, on that simp aspect is like, you do it for yourself. Like I'm not going to go out there and be like, oh shit, like, please let me love you. Please, like, God, like, oh, you're so beautiful. Let me pursue you. Like all these things. Like, no, bro, like, don't do that either. Like, be a simp, but don't be a simp, if that makes sense. Be a simp within yourself. Let's see. Okay, so there's this experience I've had that can highlight like being on both ends of like sexualizing someone versus like wanting to know someone, right? Back in the day, yeah, like to me everything was sex, right? Like I want that, blah 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 blah, right? And then doing the work and all that, and again, boys, I still battle with it. I still throw some little jabs and everything with with lust. So I'm not perfect on that end. I still have a lot to work on in regards to that. But moving away from it, I was like, I met this girl, and I'm like, fuck, like you're beautiful. Leaving it again away from sexualizing her, because and you got to be honest with yourself. At least for me, I know myself, right? I know that if I would have seen her back in the day or something, I would have thought differently in regards to like wanting her. So what I did, I'm a guy, dude. Like I don't want you guys to be like weak. I don't want you guys to be on that end. So I felt it out. I saw she wasn't feeling me. I'm like, cool. What am I going to do? I still have these romantic feelings for you. I don't have these sexualized feelings for you. I have these romantic feelings for you that eventually, if I were to court you, we were to go out, all these things, that yes, that would be part of the end goal. But it's like, again, you just got to experience it. And I'm sure you guys have experienced and will experience it if you haven't. And like you can make the distinction, right? So what I do, started like writing letters, starting just letting out those emotions with myself. It was for her, but it was with myself. I never told her, and I was able to just get over her on that end. So that is what I mean by being a simp, right? Of like wanting a woman like to love her, not to, again, sexualize her. So lust makes us have wandering eyes, and then having wandering eyes is an issue. Let's see. Okay, I'm about to be at the 19-minute mark, so I think it's a good place right here to end this video, this thought in regards to lust. But I'll be making more videos about lust in regards to like how it affects us, how to maybe I don't want to say beat it or fight it, because also like I feel that at times like the more you try and force things, the more it kind of latches onto you. So for now, we'll leave it at that here in regards to my thoughts spoken about lust here, and then we'll make other videos in regards to more things related to lust.